Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss conclusions I've drawn from studying American history. Conclusions you might not agree with, you might even be offended by, but conclusions that you should have your own from your own study of American history. And I'm hoping that you will, even if it's to try to prove me wrong or to correct the thing that you think may be a fact that's incorrect. So I'm hoping that you'll dig into American history. So we're going to talk today, beginning in the 1968 election. The Democratic candidate, Hubert Humphrey, lost to former Eisenhower VP Richard Nixon. Richard Milhous Nixon became the 37th president of the United States, having been defeated by John Kennedy in the earlier contest, excuse me, as well as being defeated for governor of California by Edmund Pat Brown. Alabama Governor George Wallace had also ran with his running mate, retired General Curtis LeMay, who advocated using the atomic bomb in Vietnam, claiming both Humphrey and Nixon were too liberal and offering to, quote, bomb North Vietnam back into the Stone Age. Nixon's comeback to win the presidency after political failure was unique in a few ways. Four other presidents had come back from defeat: Jefferson, Jackson, William Harrison, and Grover Cleveland. But they had waited only 4 years, while Nixon didn't see success until 8 years after his presidential loss. He was the first to overcome a fresh opponent rather than a man he'd already run against. He was the 12th president to have been a VP. He was, however, the first former VP who entered the presidency by winning it in 132 years. 1968 was only the second time in history that a former VP had run against a current VP. That happened in 1800 when Adams was defeated by Jefferson. Nixon's defeat of Humphrey was only the second time that anyone had defeated an incumbent VP seeking the White House. The first was Nixon's defeat by Kennedy in 1960. Nixon called for unity and an end to civil strife, pushing forward with civil rights progress for blacks, to end the Vietnam War, and to seek world peace. His national security advisor and later Secretary of State Henry Kissinger promoted the concept of détente, with the Soviet Union easing tensions resulting in the SALT talks, limiting nuclear weapons, and a Nixon visit to Moscow and rapprochement with Red China, which resulted in his being the first president to visit China. With regard to Vietnam, Kissinger held talks with North Vietnam, which eventually resulted in the U.S. withdrawal under a treaty in 1973, considered a victory for the communists who took down the Southern government in 1975. Two things make this ironic. One, in an interview with Mike Wallace of 60 Minutes in the 1980s, I heard the former head of the South Vietnamese Communist Force, the Viet Cong, say that after the Tet Offensive of 68, the communist cause was lost and further pressure would have resulted in complete defeat. However, Americans' lack of resolve to win at home, civil strife, and the media anti-war campaign have resulted in America backing away from that victory. Secondly, there are those today that accuse Henry Kissinger of halting a deal to end the war in the Johnson administration or at the beginning of a possible Humphrey administration to give the, quote, victory to Nixon. Those same people hold Kissinger to be a war criminal due to the so-called unnecessary loss of life in the ensuing 5 years. Further investigation of this issue would be fascinating, I'm sure. Whatever the truth is, Nixon's drawing down the troop strength in Vietnam and Vietnamization, or bringing the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, or ARVN, up to a level that it could fight its own war, caused by the growing war protests at home, was in sharp contrast to his moving the war into Cambodia to try to cut off the North Vietnamese supply route to the south. The Ho Chi Minh Trail and unleashing the air arm of the military in bombing the cities in the north. Events in the U.S., such as the media named Kent State Massacre, and in Vietnam, such as the My Lai Massacre, are worth researching more deeply and an understanding of this controversial era. Nixon's media buzzword was peace with honor. Kissinger also achieved fame with his Middle East shuttle diplomacy. He attempted to broker deals in 1971 Indo-Pakistan War and the 1973 Yom Kippur War. He was involved in events surrounding Augusto Pinochet's 1973 coup in Chile and in Jorge Videla's Argentinian junta in East Timor, with Indonesia's Suharto, and in Africa. So there's a lot of things going on. We're going to talk about the moon landing and stuff next. So I hope you'll come back and listen to some more events and do these studying on your own, so you know about them and you can be conversant in American history, because that's what I'd like to see. All right, thank you very much and have a great day.